Thanks for tuning in. It is Monday, October 10th here in Korea. I'm Han-daeun in Seoul. There's been speculation that North Korea could carry out another provocation today, which marks a key anniversary for the ruling Workers' Party. While the reclusive state remains silent, the navies of South Korea and the United States are conducting a naval drill on all sides of the peninsula to enhance interoperability and warn Pyongyang against its possible acts of belligerence. The U.S. has also deployed one of its nuclear-powered aircraft carriers for the exercise. We start with Defense Ministry correspondent Kim Hyun-bin.
The United States has deployed a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, USS Ronald Reagan, to the peninsula for a joint naval exercise with South Korea. The six-day Invincible Spirit exercise kicked off on Monday to send a warning to North Korea over its recent nuclear and missile provocations.
The Invincible Spirit exercise will run through October 15th on all of South Korea's coasts. The exercise serves as a warning to North Korea and showcases the Allies' counterstrike abilities in addition to enhancing our joint operational capabilities.
The Allies have mobilized dozens of warships and submarines for the drills, including Aegis destroyers, surveillance planes, and US F-18 Hornet fighter jets. This is the first time the Allies have engaged in exercises on all coasts of the peninsula at the same time. In the East and West Seas, the Allies are conducting maritime operations to counter North Korean commandos infiltrating the maritime demarcation line. Off the southwestern coast, the Allies will conduct anti-submarine and aircraft drills, as well as precision-guided strike operations. The drills come after an increase in provocations from North Korea, including its fifth nuclear test and multiple ballistic missile launches. Kim Hyun-bin, ARIRANG News.
And staying with North Korea, a prominent U.S. think tank has warned that the Hermit Kingdom could have an extremely formidable nuclear and missile arsenal in less than 10 years from now. It also believes the North's weapons are advancing at a faster pace than what most leading experts had thought. Our Kim Mo-gyun with more.
The RAND Corporation says North Korea may have enough material to develop between 13 to 21 nuclear weapons, and by as early as 2020 and as late as 2025, it could possess up to 100. It says Pyongyang is currently in the process of developing missiles with nuclear warheads that can reach the continental United States. The report also says that in the next 6 years, the regime will have numerous long-range, road-mobile, and submarine-launched ballistic missiles that are capable of invalidating Washington's regional military posture and war plans. The report also said that if South Korea perceives a major threat from the north, Seoul might launch preemptive attacks on the regime's nuclear and missile facilities. If that happens, the report says it could lead to counter-escalation or even make North Korea launch a preemptive strike first. With Pyongyang's nuclear development, some in Seoul and Tokyo are losing faith in Washington's nuclear umbrella and are calling for the development of their own independent nuclear arsenals. However, the think tank warned a decision by South Korea or Japan to develop nuclear weapons would eventually lead the other to follow suit and fundamentally change security dynamics in Northeast Asia and threaten the viability of the Non-Proliferation Treaty. Kim Mo-gyun, ARIRANG News.
Korea's ruling Saenuri Party and top government officials have been working on plans to help people affected by last week's typhoon that struck southern parts of the country. Our Ji Myung-gil walks us through the newly announced measures.
The ruling Saenuri Party and the government held talks on Monday aimed at providing aid to people living in the typhoon-stricken areas in the southern part of the country.
The Ministry of Public Safety and Security has provided $7.2 million in immediate support. We will also negotiate with the Finance Ministry to provide compensation for individual property.
The government says it's planning to provide support for 70% of all damage to individual properties incurred as a result of the deadly typhoon. People in the affected areas will be able to have flood-damaged vehicles fixed free of charge, and they will be eligible for other benefits, including lower water and gas utility bills. Schools in typhoon-hit areas will be provided with financial aid. The ruling party also urged the government to designate typhoon-stricken areas as special disaster zones, which would make them eligible for relief aid. Some 10,000 volunteers, soldiers, and government officials are lending a helping hand to speed up the recovery process in the cities of Ulsan, Gyeongju, Busan, and Jeju.
I would like to thank all our citizens for always coming together to help overcome the hardships. I believe this is our people's strength.
Last week, Typhoon Chaba struck southern parts of Korea, leaving at least 7 people dead. Aside from the human losses, the heavy rain affected thousands of hectares of farmland and inundated more than 500 houses and thousands of automobiles. Kim Young-git, ARIRANG News.
Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump sparred Sunday night in a bout that's being described as the nastiest debate in U.S. presidential history. The night started with a question about a 2005 recording of Trump in which he is heard bragging about groping and trying to have sex with women. Trump apologized but said that it was nothing more than, quote, locker room talk. Then he made several references to ISIS and later brought up the sexual allegations against former President Bill Clinton from nearly 2 decades ago. Clinton criticized Trump's language and behavior, especially toward women, and questioned his fitness for the office of president. Trump brought up Clinton's email and said that he would appoint a special prosecutor to investigate her, saying she would be in jail if he were president. Foreign policy, healthcare, and national security were also discussed, but the debate isn't expected to move the needle much for either candidate. The final debate is scheduled for October 19th. And that's all from me. Thank you for being with us. Business Daily is next.